Welcome, dear seeker. Take a slow breath and allow yourself to arrive inwardly, not in thought but in presence. Today I invite you into a sacred threshold, a living field of spiritual transformation, contained within the book Light on the Path to Spiritual Perfection, Book 1. This book is not meant to be read casually. It is meant to be entered, lived, practiced, and embodied. Because true spiritual knowledge is never information, it is transformation. And this book opens a doorway into the great work of becoming, the gradual awakening of your divine nature within human existence. At its deepest level, this book serves one central purpose: to guide the sincere seeker from ordinary consciousness towards spiritual refinement, awakening, and ultimately inner mastery. It does not promise quick enlightenment, it does not offer comforting beliefs. It offers a path that leads from sleep to awareness, from fragmentation to wholeness, from ego orientation to divine orientation, from human limitation to cosmic participation. Spiritual perfection in this context does not mean moral superiority or mystical fantasy. It means the full development of your divine nature, consciously realized and embodied in life. This book reveals a fundamental truth that many seekers resist. Spiritual growth is not achieved through intellectual understanding alone. It is achieved through practice, sustained, disciplined, sincere inner work. Only lived experience transforms consciousness. Meditation, refinement of character, energetic development, balance of mind, soul and body, alignment with the universal laws. These are not optional elements of the path, they are the path. At the heart of the teaching lies a profound initiatory movement, the transformation of human nature into divine nature. This process unfolds gradually through purification, activation, refinement, and expansion of consciousness. First, the seeker awakens from the sleep of ordinary life. Then begins the work of clearing inner distortions, healing emotional patterns, refining energy, stabilizing awareness. As this inner work deepens, the personality becomes a vessel, a living temple capable of receiving and radiating higher spiritual energies. Eventually, the human being becomes not merely a seeker of light, but an expression of light, a conscious participant in divine creation. This path is not abstract. The book introduces precise spiritual principles that structure authentic development. One of the most essential is orientation. True spiritual progress requires a shift away from ego-centered striving toward alignment with the Absolute, with divine wisdom, divine love, and divine truth. The ego seeks personal power. The soul seeks unity with the divine source. This reorientation is one of the most decisive thresholds on the path. Without it, spiritual practice remains self-enhancement. With it, practice becomes transformation. Another central principle revealed in this teaching is balance. Authentic development must unfold harmoniously across all dimensions of the human being. Mind must be cultivated with clarity and truth. Soul must be refined through love and purification. Body must be strengthened and harmonized as the vessel of spiritual energy. Likewise, the elemental forces of existence, will, intellect, feeling, and action must be developed equally. Imbalance leads to distortion. Harmony leads to mastery. The book also introduces the reality of energetic transformation. Spiritual practice is not only psychological, it is energetic. Through disciplined training, the subtle bodies awaken. The energy system becomes active. Consciousness expands beyond physical perception. Eventually, the seeker becomes directly connected to the universal source of life energy, no longer dependent on external stimulation, but inwardly radiant and self-sustaining. This is one of the great promises of the path, to become inwardly alive on all planes of existence. Yet this transformation does not occur through effort alone. A profound mystery revealed in this teaching is divine grace. Spiritual development is always a cooperation between human striving and divine assistance. You walk toward the divine, and the divine moves toward you. Guidance, inspiration, protection, and inner illumination are not accidental. They are expressions of living grace responding to sincere dedication. This recognition transforms practice from struggle into relationship, a living dialogue between the soul and the divine source. Within the pages of this book, the seeker also encounters the archetypal journey of inner maturation, from dependence to responsibility, to disciplined striving to sovereign mastery. The human being gradually learns to live not as a passive receiver of life, but as a conscious co-creator, aligned with universal law and divine intention. This is the true meaning of inner authority. Not domination, but alignment. Not control, but conscious participation. What inner experiences may arise through engagement with these teachings? You may experience a deepening silence of mind, a growing sensitivity to subtle energies, an expansion of perception beyond the physical senses. Old emotional patterns may surface to be healed. Your sense of identity may loosen and widen. Moments of profound peace may arise without external cause. You may begin to feel guided, supported, and connected, and slowly, almost imperceptibly, your orientation to life will change. You will no longer live merely to survive or achieve. You will live to realize and express your divine nature. Why are these teachings especially relevant today? Because humanity stands in a time of great spiritual exposure. Ancient knowledge, once hidden, is now accessible, yet access without preparation creates confusion. Many seekers wander through spiritual information without structure, depth, or discipline. This book restores the reality of authentic initiation, step by step, grounded, practical, transformative. It reminds us that awakening is not an idea. It is a path that must be walked. Who is this book for? It is not for the curious observer. It is for the sincere seeker, for those who feel an inner call toward truth beyond comfort, for those willing to refine themselves patiently, honestly, deeply. It is for those who sense that human life is preparation for something greater, the unfolding of cosmic consciousness within embodied existence. Ultimately, this book serves awakening, inner mastery, and conscious evolution by providing something rare, a complete orientation. It shows where you are going, and how transformation actually unfolds. It invites you to dedicate yourself to divine wisdom, to divine love, to absolute truth, to the highest power within creation. This dedication is not symbolic, it is initiatory. It marks the beginning of a new way of being. If you feel resonance, if something in you recognizes this call, then the doorway is already open. Read the book slowly, practice sincerely, allow transformation to unfold naturally. And if you wish to go deeper, you may receive further initiatory training through for mystics, guided practices, structured development, living transmission. For those called to committed spiritual evolution, the path continues within Ordo Mysticus, a living field of conscious awakening and inner mastery. May your heart remain open. May your will remain steady. May divine light guide every step of your journey. In love, light, and service, I am Ray del Sol.